Hi Nancy, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. I'm just tired.
You feeling a little run down?
Exactly.
What are some things going on right now that's got you feeling this way?
I'm just sick and tired of working all the time. I just want to have a life of my own sometimes. I live for everyone around me, but have hardly any time for myself.
You spend a lot of time and energy giving to your loved ones that you kind of feel like your own wants and needs are falling short.
Yep. I'm always helping my family, and I'm just so sick of nobody helping me. I have to do everything by myself, and I got all these kids and they're running around and acting crazy, and I'm just tired.
I hear you saying that you're exhausted, and although you do a lot for your family, they aren't doing much to help you and give you a chance to kind of catch your breath and reset.
They never consider if I need a break. My husband, he runs around doing whatever he wants to do. He doesn't care about how hard I'm working. He's never considerate of me, and I'm just getting tired of having to live like this. I really had envisioned a different life for myself. As a child, I thought my life would be better when I became an adult, but it's just not. I just do what I can to try and take care of the kids, make sure they have what they need, and that's about all I can say for myself.
Well, you sound like you're an extremely hardworking mother who cares very deeply for her children. You've devoted your life to taking care of your family and are doing the best you can, but you still feel overworked and feel like you're carrying the responsibility and workload by yourself when you're supposed to be able to rely on your partner for backup.
My husband is just selfish. He's only involved when he wants to be. So I have to be the number one provider and take care of my kids because who else will? I can't rely on anybody to help me. I have no support. I'm the only one that can make sure they get what they need.
I know you have 4 children, so I can imagine it's a lot to manage by yourself.
It is. My youngest is almost 2. She's a walking tornado all over the place. Everywhere she goes, she's pulling something out or tearing something down. I've just gotten to the point where I stopped trying to clean up the mess. I just leave it.
Well, I know kids, especially young kids, are a lot to keep up with. It can be difficult to try to keep things clean and feel like you're getting on top of your workload when there are little ones running around causing chaos.
I'm just really worn down at this point. Sometimes I just feel I don't want to live. Like maybe it'd be better if I wasn't even here. But then I think, I could never do that to my kids. My husband isn't doing what he's supposed to be doing. My kids only got me to rely on. So what if I'm gone? Who's going to take care of them? No one. So I just try and tough it out in whatever way I can.
Well, I'm really sorry that your exhaustion is getting to the point where you have contemplated a life without you here. You have a lot going on with very little help, and there are things that we can work on to try to get you feeling more rested and in a more positive place.
I'm honestly feeling pretty helpless at this point. I try to use weed to help me calm me down and relax me. It really does help me for a minute. But then, I'll come back to reality and I'm just exactly where I was when I left off.
So weed kind of provides you with a temporary escape and maybe even a little relief, but ultimately it doesn't change anything about your responsibilities and the workload you have to tackle.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Well, what are some of the other things you currently do or can do that could help you feel like are helpful?
Well, nothing really. I mean, I like to paint, but I don't really get to paint a lot. When I go to try to paint, the kids are always needing something or the baby's getting into the paint. Sometimes I'm just too tired to even try to get started on a piece. I'd rather spend that time laying in bed trying to sleep. I just kind of watch TV before bed and smoke nowadays.
Well, I could see you being a great painter. You always come in dressed so colorful and fun. That's awesome that you like to paint. I hate that it's kind of one of the cases of where our feelings and exhaustions have made even the things we like to do and the things that could potentially help us feel better, like painting is for you, even feel like a chore and like too much effort. Sometimes when we are feeling low, it's common for us to withdraw from things we like to do most, even though we may know that it's something we enjoy.
I just work all day long. And I come home to work some more. And trying to fit painting in, it's hard. Like, when am I going to have time to start a piece, much less finish it? Sometimes I think maybe I could do it at night when I put the kids to sleep. By that time, I'm just too exhausted. Can't even find my supplies, and I just put it off to a different day.
When you get the time to yourself to do the things you want to do, you would rather use that time to rest and recharge. The things we like to do take time and energy, and when we are tired, it's easy to put those off.
Yeah, running around with kids on top of working, it's just a lot.
Painting may be rewarding, but for it to be rewarding, you got to have some time for yourself and energy to do it. And that seems to be something you don't have very much of right now.
No, I do not. Not in a million years would my husband come and take the kids and distract them from me while I paint. He's too busy with his own hobbies to help me with my own. He's always in the garage filled with cars and motorcycles. He's not going to do anything for me when it comes to things like this. He's supposed to be someone that's there to help me, but that's not the case.
So you don't feel like your husband really supports you like you need him to?
No, I do not.
Well, from what I've heard from you today, there are major concerns when it comes to your husband's role in helping you deal with some of the issues you're having. If you don't mind, I would like to take a second to maybe summarize what I'm hearing is causing you a little distress.
Sure.
Well, it seems that you're feeling run down by the everyday motions of life and raising kids. You go to work and you come home to work some more. You aren't really given any alone time or the opportunity to do things for yourself. And when you do have the time, you are too exhausted and tired to utilize it for things that you like to do, like painting. I know that you had mentioned that you use marijuana as a way to cope, but it doesn't really help, but only for the moment. It doesn't really resolve your problems, so you're not really benefiting from it much at all. On top of that, your husband hasn't supported you like you have needed him to and has focused on his own needs instead of trying to help you meet yours. Does that sound about right?
Yep. I have all them barriers against me, and I worry that nothing's just ever going to be different.
Well, what are some of the things that you can think of that could potentially help you knock down some of those barriers and free up some time for yourself in your everyday life?
Well, I've seen like flyers at my daughter's school that there's this single mother support group where they all help each other out, like carpooling and babysitting for each other, and I thought that could possibly help me get some free time, but I'm not really a single mom, so I didn't think they'd let me join.
Well, I think a support group is a great idea. Sharing experiences with fellow mothers and leaning on one another for some free time could be exactly what you're looking for. I can understand your hesitation in the name of the group aiming towards single mothers, but from my understanding, when it comes to the kids, you are the primary caregiver and you have little to no support from your husband. So is it possible to consider that you may fit the criteria even though you're married?
I hadn't really thought of it that way. I guess it's possible that I would.
Okay. So what are some ways you could find out more information about the support group and maybe if you're able to join?
Well, next time I'm at my daughter's school, I can grab one of them flyers and I guess maybe contact somebody within the group to see if they'd be willing to let me join and maybe what they would need for me to get involved.
I think that's a great idea. One of the biggest issues you're having is finding some time for yourself. And a support group of mothers willing to help each other out sounds like exactly what you could benefit from.